How's it growing? This morning we are at the Rotary Community Garden and Food Forest of Coral Springs. We're going to talk to some of the participants in the garden program here and some of the volunteers and ask why they volunteer. Also, Cynthia Schaefer is going to talk to the volunteers at the Davie Community Garden. In the previous episode, Judy Golko gave us an amazing tour of this magical place. Besides the wonders of nature itself, what makes it even more magical is the sense of community that the garden participants and volunteers bring from very different backgrounds. They come together and they work together. A little on and off rainy morning didn't stop these gardeners. On their main work volunteer days, they usually start the day with a connecting ritual which normally involves some yoga stretching. On this particular morning, Rosa led the session.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rosa. And this is my therapy. I come here, just recharge, release, and I brought my friend here, and she loved it too.
Yes, my name is Tamaira, and I'm pretty new here. I rented a spot and helping today, learning how to seed, how to plant, being in touch with Mother Earth.
And to me, it's a therapy. It's definitely a therapy.
And I saw you were leading a little yoga session earlier.
Oh, yeah. I had to do that every day. In the morning, my first thing I do is my breathing. Breathing is the most important part, the breath. Then you do stretching because we use a lot of muscle here. That way you don't get hurt by, using the right muscle, the right moving of your body. Yeah, that's another thing that's very good.
Great.
Yeah.
Native vegetables.
Jackie was one of the original founders of this community garden. She's grateful for the City of Coral Springs' support.
The fence, the irrigation, the land, they've always supported us, and we could never have something like this without the support of the city. Anytime we needed help, they were right there for us. So it has been interesting to see how many different people have come together for this. Now, I'm a retired teacher. I just retired this year, and I had a school garden. And children especially, they just love to watch things grow. People sometimes visit just to look around and feel the nature. How it touches people, I think, is just remarkable.
I asked what they were working on here.
During the summer, there was a lot of growth, along with some of the plants that we have placed in the garden. There's always a lot of weeds that have to be taken care of. And the summer with the temperatures over the 90s really wasn't, friendly to our volunteers. So at the start of the season, we usually take the time to clear it out, and plant things that are going to be, organic and native, eliminate the weeds, and get a good start on our season. He's a new gardener, here to help out. He's doing a great job.
And your name?
Amari. I'm just here helping out, trying to clear up some of the weeds. It's my first time, so.
Good. And what inspired you to get involved in this?
Nature is fun. With these days now, we're being locked in our houses. Just to get out at least once in a while and be exposed to nature is really soothing and helping.
Therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
Hard work too.
Yeah.
Hard work, but rewarding, right?
Oh yeah, very much so. And years ago, I lived in a condo. I wanted to grow homegrown tomatoes. There is nothing that tastes like a sun-ripened homegrown tomato. So when the city decided that they were going to begin a community garden, I just went to all the meetings, and finally they said, here, sign this list if you're interested, and then we started out with 20 boxes. Then the interest in it was so great, we now have 54 in a food forest. We do a lot of education, and right now we're interested in starting a children's garden, teaching people about growing, native vegetables and actually how to grow things like tomatoes and peppers so that they do well in our climate.
My name is Daryl Harding, and these are my 2 kids. And we think it's very important to get involved with the community and, learning how to grow and cultivate your own food, at least some of it, we think is important. So we come out here to, hang out with everybody else and participate. So, yeah.
This is Lauren, and Lauren, could you tell us why do you volunteer?
I've been here. I've had a box here about a year. I used to live a few years ago on an acre of land, and I had my own garden there. And I moved into a condo, so I don't have any outdoor space. And a friend of mine told me about this space here, so I got a box. And it's an incredible space with all the different boxes and the different people that come here together from all different cultures and origins. And it's just fascinating to see what everyone's growing. And so I kind of use that as inspiration to grow here. And then once a month we come here and kind of contribute to taking care of the property in general. There's a fruit forest next door, and we just kind of keep it clean and nice, and working outside with everyone is a real fun experience.
What are we going to be planting in this bed?
I've started over here. I started seeds. I direct seeded last week carrots, beets, and radishes. And I've started seeds at my balcony at home to do tomatoes, some peppers, sunflowers, a bunch of different things.
I'm getting ready to prep our boxes to plant some cabbages. Okay?
Right.
We want to plant them when it's cold, when cool.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready right now. And my garden partner want the good soil. Not the mulch, but she want the good soil. So that's what I'm doing right now for her. Well, for us.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, David.
And Mimi, it was great to see your grandmother here a couple weeks ago.
Yes. She's amazing. She's vibrant.
Vanessa was a volunteer for a few years, actually, before she joined. So.
Okay.
And I tried at my house to do some things, and I think it's nice to be here where, you're around people who know some things and can fill in the gaps of knowledge and share some things. I think it's great for the kids to come, get some fresh air, get off the video game. So we're enjoying it, yes. And we're just starting here.
Could have turned it back.
Okay. You want a water? Do we need some water? Looks a little wet. Here. Want to hold this? There you go.
It's actually just mist.
Okay. Wow, the marigolds look good, you guys, huh?
Yeah. Can I water them?
I'm here today because one, I'm trying to get away from reality. There's a lot of craziness in the world, and this brings me a lot of solitude. And two, I am a firm advocate of believing you are your set environment. So if we don't take care of our environment, it directly impacts you. So I'm here to ensure that folks have a safe space here if they want to get away, get some mental clarity, and second, practicing some self-care today.
Great. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
So I've been a gardener all my life. I'm a teacher also, and I teach my children to garden, my students, so they have a garden club. I have a garden club at school, and I just have to garden. It's my therapy.
It's good therapy, isn't it?
It is. It's my
Especially
therapy.
at a time like this.
Oh yeah, yeah. So right now at school we can't garden, no outside activities with kids and like that, So this is even better now that I can get to come here and garden, do what I want, plant, help, raise butterflies.
My name is Kennedy, and I want to get involved because I want to help out Miss Ann in her garden.
Well, my reason for joining is really both of our reasons, but it's like kind of a sub-underlining. Miss Ann is our neighbor, and we've known her for a few years now. Back in 2018, she lost her daughter, and she did this gardening. So my dad spoke to me and my sister if we would like to help her in the garden. So ever since, I believe, July, we worked here through August. So like the okra you see, we pretty much helped her plant that and everything. along with these 3 boxes, and then some areas over there.
I took a moment myself to take a prayerful, meditative walk in the Memorial Gardens labyrinth. It's a peaceful place to take in the beauty and fresh air, or just sit and enjoy a good book. My hope is that this video will help inspire someone to maybe start getting involved in a community garden, or maybe even start a community garden or food forest in your own city. And you know what? This project already has done that in Davie. And right now,
Like a beautiful
Cynthia Schaefer, who has her own series on Stack's Urban Harvest, is going to go talk to those volunteers.
We are here at the Davie Community Garden, Food Forest, and Banana Circle having a volunteer day. And I'm always so grateful for our community because regardless of the weather, people show up. This morning it was torrential rain, and yet people showed up. Over here we have Jason, who is building the compost circle for the Banana Circle. Jason doesn't really like being seen, but we're going to see him anyway. Jason shows up all the time, and he's kind of our construction guy, so whenever we need something built, we can count on Jason to figure it out. Usually we have more women than men in the garden, but this morning we have a lot of men. I'm not quite sure why. Garrett. This is Garrett.
Good morning.
Garrett shows up not only for all of the garden events, but he's also a great volunteer for Gleaning for Good, which has this year gotten 10,700 pounds of backyard fruit from the backyard to food banks. Garrett, you show up all the time for community to volunteer. Why do you do that?
Oh, I love getting outdoors, being close to nature, helping the community.
Awesome.
Making community.
Making it better. Thank you. Over here we have Alfonso. Alfonso is braving the weeds and the ants. And Alfonso has his own property in Naples where he's got plenty of weeding to do over there.
Lots of it, yeah.
But he's still here for us. Why do you come out, Alfonso?
I love to be outdoors, and I love helping, and I believe on the cause that you guys are doing. They're trying to build community and help the community out. So, I mean, for me, it's a win-win. I love to be here.
And we love to have you. And Vianney, this is her first time out here with us. She's working in the butterfly garden. What inspired you to come out this morning, Vianney?
Well, I believe in the power of nature and how it could heal us. So I try to spend as much time as I can within plants.
That is fabulous. And Jonathan's been volunteering with us off and on for years.
Off and on for 5 years, yes.
What brings you out here, Jonathan?
I wanted to connect with local growers. I feel like we need a lot more, and we need to stick together.
Fabulous. And then Katie is very excited to see Katie. Katie is what I call a community rock star. Katie.
Hey there.
So tell us why you came out here despite the fact that you have tons to do in your own yard, and you are coordinator of Gleaning for Good, and
I think this is a great project. I want to support.
Awesome. Jason, can I get a few words from you, or?
You don't have to.
Yes. Why do you come out, Jason? Because you are always out, and you also...
Gives me something to do.
Well, you also do things like, during the week, you take your truck and you pick up piles of manure and you bring it to our gardens. So you're really in the shit.
Yeah.
And we deeply appreciate you for that.
Not a problem.
All right. All right, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you, Cynthia. In the next few weeks, she's going to have classes available on video for how to make ghee and fire cider. And if you missed the previous episode with the full tour of the Rotary Community Garden and Food Forest of Coral Springs, if you don't see the link up above here, the link will be down below in the description. Now my final thought on this. I just thought it was such a beautiful thing to see people from diverse backgrounds coming together, working together, getting to know each other better as a community, growing food as a community. Speaking of growing, now this is my homegrown smoothie, mostly homegrown. I throw in a few things that I don't have on hand in the garden. I've had more requests on how I make my green smoothies probably than anything else. So you can expect to see that soon. I sure hope that you got something out of this video, and if you enjoyed it, please let me know. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, click on that bell so that you'll be notified when I upload videos in the future, and let's grow together.